Hey Dave, it's Patrick. I did a little research and I wanted to go over your website with you a little bit. I know that some of the stuff gets pretty complex, so I'm going to try to keep it simple to start and kind of give you some basics of some of the things that I've seen here. So, what I have open in front of me is a tool that I use, and it gives me an estimate of a lot of different things. So, the first thing I have opened here is your website and how it's performing in search engines. So this number right here, this $121 in the middle of the screen, it's probably the most important metric that we can use to summarize how a website is going to perform. What this means is if you were to pay for this traffic, if you were to pay Google for this traffic, it would cost you $121. So this represents I know you guys aren't paying for anything, but this represents how much the traffic that you're getting organically is worth. And this list down here below kind of is all this stuff added up equals this $121. So this is just a graph of this data essentially. So the number one term that you guys are ranking for right now is trailer products. It has a volume of 260 searches per month, and the difficulty associated with ranking for this word is 49. This is on a scale of 1 to 100, so this is relatively pretty easy search term to rank for at 49. When you get into the 60s or 70s, like this one, you guys are ranking second for, is it 66? This is a lot tougher word to rank for. And you get into the 70s and 80s, those ones are really challenging. So what you'd really like to see here is smaller numbers spread out over a much larger distribution of words. So you can go down here, and I don't know what this is, maybe 15 words. This is 99% of your traffic is coming from 15 words, and a third of it is coming from this word alone. All right, so I also have your number one competitor here, Fiberworks, pulled up, and you can see that they have close to $5,000 in traffic a month. And this is the breakdown of how their stuff is coming through. It looks like they're getting a ton of traffic from Fiberworks. And whenever a company has the domain name of a search term, it's really hard to outperform them for that term. So they have that term, and that one's going to be it's going to be tough to knock them off. It's going to take a couple years of doing stuff on a regular basis to outrank them for that. But if you just decide to let them have that one and look at some of these other ones, like fiberglass fenders, for instance, has a difficulty of 58, and that's 880 searches per month. And pre-runner fenders, so there's 1,300 searches per month or more, close to 1,400. So being able to rank for these terms right here is going to drive this number for you guys up dramatically. And one other thing that I didn't mention over here is you guys, like for this term, for instance, you guys are ranking ninth for this term and eighth. No one clicks on anything after the first few terms. Because there's so many search terms, there's 880 search terms, and you guys are on the first page, you will get some value from it. But if you were to be, in the number one position here, that's worth several thousands of dollars a month. So you have these terms that are not super tough to rank for and have a lot of volume, and each search that's associated with that volume is worth a lot of money. That's where you start to get a lot of value from your website. So one of the key factors that determines how a website will rank is the backlinks that come into it. So these are the sites that are linking to your website. Google says, okay, this website's linking to this other website, they must think it's important. So they kind of go through and they count up and say, who's got the most links? But every link doesn't have the same value. So if I were to get a link to your site from Microsoft.com, Google knows that Microsoft.com is a very strong website. So they say, okay, this super strong website's linking to Off-Roadfiberglass.com. This must be a really important site, and you guys would kind of blow through the roof with your search results. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get a link from Microsoft.com, but we can get it from a lot of other, medium strong domains. So if we go through here and we look within my tool, there's a million things that this tool does. I'm just kind of scratching the surface. We see that you guys have 144 links from other sites, and they're from 23 different domains. So these 23 domains are, a lot of them have multiple links to your site, which is why this number is 144. So if we go through and we look at the value of these links, this number goes from 1 to 100. The higher the better. So your strongest link is a 1, which is really affecting how you guys are ranking for a lot of those terms. So if we were to go back to Fiberworks, for instance, and we'll go look at their backlinks and see how they're doing. See, so they have probably about 20 times more links than you guys from close to 3 times as many domains. And then we can see this right here is, they don't have a lot of strong links, but they have a couple that are big. They have a 13 and a 2. So the distance between 0 and 1 is less than the distance between 1 and 2 when you're considering these links. So between 2 and 13 is not just like a difference of 11. It grows for each number. So getting a link from a 13 and a 2 would really help you guys out relative to them. But what if we got links from 10 different 13s or something like that? Then you guys would really start to move up in the search engines. So part of what we do is we'll go through and we'll look at we'll find as many competitors as they can. We'll find their top links, and then we'll go and try to establish relationships with these companies and see if we can form something where they can give us a link. And if we take your top 10 competitors and get all their best links, then a lot of times that's enough to move you way up in the search engines. So so that's that. Just going through and kind of looking at your site a little bit. Obviously, not to insult it, but it looks a little outdated. It's kind of plain. You can kind of go through and look at your competitor site. This looks much more modern. You can see right here in this title bar up here where it says model Titan something. You got to really take advantage of this area right here. This is called a title tag. So you guys right now, you have that set to untitled 1. This is a great opportunity for you to tell Google what your page is about, and then for Google to take this, whatever's here, and put it into the search engines as what people are searching for. So going back here, your main page, this is your most important page on your site, the home page. Not really a lot of content at all here. If we were to redo this, we would add a ton of content. Get some graphics on here, some pictures, maybe something like one of these interior pages, but a little smaller. We did some work for a dealership, and we have our own trailer dealership software that we've built. So just this doesn't have to look like this, but I figured it's a similar industry to yours. So here's an example of something that it could look like, just an idea. Something to get more stuff on the front page so that Google will index that page. That's the page they're going to index the most often. So that's the page that's going to be most relevant for search results. So if we go through, this is a list of all the pages that Google has indexed for you guys. And you can see this right here, these words right here is a tag set within your site. And you have the ability to put enough characters probably to come out to where my mouse is right now. And you really want to maximize that. And you want to choose these words based on this type of stuff here. Let me go back. So if we go back here and we look at this, we want to choose these words based on the words we want to rank for. So for instance, if we were trying to rank for one of these words you guys aren't ranking, like Dodge Ram fiberglass fender, if we had a page like that showing up in the list of search terms here and the list of page titles, you would start to rank better for those things. So I don't want to throw too much at you. I see a ton of opportunity to improve your site, and I could get into more details, and I think I'm going to send you guys a couple reports on some of this information so you can kind of do a comparison on your own where it's not just flashing by you on a video. But just kind of wanted to give you a little overview and show you some of the things that I saw in a I probably spent 2 hours just analyzing your site, and this stuff was very obvious to me that there's a lot of room for improvement here. So hopefully this has been informative for you and you've enjoyed finding out about it a little bit. So yeah, I'll send you some reports, and I'll send this video over to you as well, and then we can talk and see if this sounds like something that you guys might be interested in. All right, thanks a lot.